Hi, my name is Wayne Knapp and I'm the Safety Administrator for the Presbyterian Church of Queensland. This is a safety presentation based on the requirements of the Building Fire Safety Regulations for the Gayndah Church. The church is located at 68 Wharton Street and the complex consists of two buildings, both constructed of Besser block. There are multiple exits from the building and the assembly point is located at the intersection of Wharton Street and Maud Street, which is just down the hill from the church. The initial meeting area is in front of the church where the sign is located near the footpath. In this presentation we will look at the location of the firefighting equipment, the use of the firefighting equipment, the escape routes, exits and assembly areas and the evacuation procedure itself. Part of the procedure will also look at the specific duties of event leaders and assistants. A full version of the church's fire and evacuation plan is available from the Safety Administrator and is also available on Elvanto. Location of the firefighting equipment. There is a water-based fire extinguisher located in the church beside the pulpit. I'm just walking up to it now. There are also two fire extinguishers in the hall, which I'll indicate shortly. When using firefighting equipment, it is important that you only use the equipment if it is safe to do so and you are confident in using it. Fires can be dangerous and it is important that you not endanger yourself or others when attempting to put a fire out. The extinguisher in the hall is a dry chemical extinguisher and it is identifiable by a white band. The other extinguishers, the one in the church and the one at the front door of the hall, are both water-based extinguishers. To operate the extinguisher, it is important to remember the PASS acronym. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the trigger and sweep the fire from side to side. To pull the pin, which is located here, you remove the fire extinguisher from the wall. In an upright position, twist the pin to break the seal, and once this has been done, pull the pin to release the trigger. This allows you to then extinguish the fire. Aim the nozzle, which is located here. Before approaching the fire, it is a good idea to test the extinguisher first. Once this has been done, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. By doing this, you'll hit the fuel source. If you aim the extinguisher into the flames, it will fly right through the fire and have little effect at all. Squeeze the trigger, which is here, by pressing the two handles together, and this will release the powder or water from the extinguisher. Sweep from side to side. Start using the extinguisher from a safe distance away from the fire and then move slowly forward. It is important to continue to sweep the fire until it is completely out. Moving over to the hall, as I said, there are two extinguishers in the hall. There is a water-based extinguisher located inside the front doors to the hall, which is situated here. Then inside the kitchen, there is a chemical extinguisher, which is a dry powdered type, which is located here, and also a fire blanket beside the wall, beside the door. Fire blankets are used to put out fires that cannot be extinguished with water alone, and they also save people whose clothing is on fire. Fire blankets work on fires which are fueled by ordinary combustibles such as wood or paper, and flammable liquids like oil or gas. To use the fire blanket, you need to first remove it from the wall, and this is done by pulling the two white tabs here. Unfold the blanket, then hold the blanket with your hands wrapped in the top edge of the blanket, and this will protect you from the flames. Cover the fire completely with the fire blanket by throwing it or placing the blanket on top of the fire and leaving it there until the fire goes out. Let the blanket cool completely for 30 minutes to an hour after the fire is out. As most fire blankets are designed to be reused, it can then be folded and returned to the wall-mounted holder. The final rule is to remember, regardless as to what equipment you use, to use the fire, it is always important to position yourself with an exit or means of escape at your back before you try to put out the fire. You don't want to be trapped if something unexpected happens and you need to get out quickly. We'll now look at the routes and exits and assembly areas. If you're in the hall, the primary exit is through the front doors. There's a secondary exit available by going through the kitchen, where there is also a door, and also both of the meeting rooms have exit doors also. When exiting the hall, I'm going out through the side door, walk up to the footpath, to the initial meeting area, which is located in front of the sign. Similarly, when leaving the church, you can leave through the front door and walk to the initial assembly area, or through the side door located near the pulpit, which is just coming into view now. The assembly area, as I stated, is located at the intersection of Maud Street and Wharton Street and is accessed by walking down the footpath. It is important that people move to the assembly areas as quickly as possible to avoid hindering emergency services who will commence operations in front of the complex. Once occupants have been moved to the meeting point, then move to the assembly area and complete a roll call and wait for further instructions. Under no circumstances is anyone to re-enter the building until the all clear has been given. If you are directed to an alternate assembly point, do not attempt to move unless instructed to do so by the emergency coordinators or emergency services. The evacuation procedure itself. If you're the first person to locate a fire, alert the group leader, and if it is safe to do so, attempt to extinguish the fire. Remember, make sure you have a clear exit before doing so. Meanwhile, other members of the group should prepare to evacuate. On hearing an evacuation instruction, immediately cease all activity, and only if it is safe to do so, switch off any appliances, equipment or machinery. Assist any person experiencing difficulty with the evacuation, and take a quick look to your left and right to see who is standing or sitting nearby. Walk quickly and calmly to the assembly area via the nearest exit, and at the assembly area, form into groups to assist the leader to ensure everyone has been evacuated. Report to the leader if you cannot locate the person who was to your left or right before you evacuated. And again, do not re-enter the building. Remain at the assembly area until otherwise instructed, and if for any reason you need to leave before the all clear is given, please let the leader know. If you are the evacuation coordinator or person leading an activity or program, there are additional duties to be performed as part of the evacuation process. You need to firstly investigate the fire situation, and if there is any doubt regarding whether there is a fire situation, call the fire services. You need to ensure the safe evacuation of all occupants from the building and account for all occupants at the assembly area. You need to make sure that people do not re-enter the building until it's safe to do so, and you need to meet the fire services and advise them of any information relevant to the emergency. As there are a number of tasks needing to be completed, it may be necessary to share these duties between attendees to ensure a safe evacuation. These include checking the hall and toilets and checking each room. If any room or building is unable to be entered, the emergency services are to be advised on their arrival. It is recommended the evacuation coordinator or person leading the activity allocate tasks at the beginning of the event. In the case of Gayndah Church, these tasks have been already allocated to the Committee of Management members and elders, and the sound operators are the persons who will be calling the fire services and checking the other building. That concludes the Gayndah Church Fire and Evacuation Instructions presentation. If you have any questions about any of the information given in this presentation, please do not hesitate to contact me at Church Office. Thank you.